This is Garrett Fry, the construction site sequence lead for 3D digital map painting, and we're taking a look at shot 551. So if we look, we start over here on the left and we pan over to the right. So as we are considering what needs to be done with this shot, we need to make sure that we're thinking about the composition and how we lay out these elements. So the direction that we've been given is to fill out these empty areas. So there's an empty area right here, and there's some space down here. And the space down here is particularly nice because you can put some really nice hero assets from the reference library into there. But you do need to be mindful of the perspective, and the construction site workers have already put some perspective lines in here, which is great if you follow these little structures that pop up. Those are roughly about what the perspective is, because we don't see the horizon line on these shots. And so it's great that they're in there to kind of give you a guide. So you can put your hero, kind of more hero elements down here, which would be really cool. And then fill this area out up here. So like I had mentioned before, when you're doing this, you're putting things in there in a way that's enhancing the composition and not taking it over. Let's say, for instance, you put something up here, and you put something up here that's so of high contrast and so interesting that people's eye, instead of looking down here, and that's kind of where people's focus should be, that they're drawn away and they're looking up here, and that would not be a good thing. And that would be the case for any of these things if you're putting it far out here. And I would look at the shot and say, hey, you know what? The point of the shot is really kind of in this area here. And so I'm going to add things that enhance this shot but not take over and kind of draw the eye away from things. So you will need to make sure that you're hitting the right the right warmth levels and the right cool levels of the light and shadow side of your objects, and make sure you're putting in some specular quality. So like for this shot, you can see that this tarp right here has a lot of really nice specular quality to it. So does this little bench here, because the light is hitting it pretty direct on. So when you put things in there, and let's say you put something right here, it's probably going to have a really high specular quality on it, and it's because it's so close to this, because this is kind of where the sun is shining. The reflection of the sun is kind of coming down into this area, and then we're seeing less specular kicks on things as we go this way. So you also need to be mindful of that. Before you jump into your shot, it's a good idea to review the library of construction site materials. Do a bunch of quick matte painting tests by dragging photos into your shot and doing quick integrations. You will soon be able to discern the appropriate reference you should use for your shot.